Okay, next, we would like to look at the completed UOL projects in RCR in the last 10 years. Looks like there's a lot of RCR projects for UOL over the last 10 years. There's one Amber, the Regency at Tiong Bahru, Parents at Bukit Timah, Water Banks at Dakota, South Bank, Spottywood Residences, Katong Regency, Thompson Tree, and also Principal Garden. So guess what? Over the last 10 years, all the purchasers of all these projects achieved their investment goals of profit. All right, as you can see, these are all the profit margin that is made by the new launch buyers. So if I take an example of the highest percentage gain, which is the Regency at Tiong Bahru, that is an amazing 69.6% capital gain, which means to say possibly whoever's that have put in the down payments, okay, for buying their properties right now, the down payment, I mean, the profit is more than the down payments that's already put down. So isn't that fantastic? Because the down payment we are talking about is, well, if you are talking about first timer, it's 25% right now. So this is 69.6%. Isn't that more than 25%? So this is very outstanding, I would say, very outstanding achievements by the developer that we are talking about in Clavon. And let's take a look at the completed UOL projects in OCR. So take a look at all these projects. These are all the projects in the different parts of Singapore. In the east, like Breeze by the East, all right, 70 Saints, St. Patrick's, and also Double Bay Residences. Next to the Clavon, which is the Clement Canopy, and also Meadows at Pierce, Archipelago, Riverbanks at Fernview, and Botanics at Bartley. Wow, sounds like yesterday, but these are the projects that is launched in OCR by UOL over the last 10 years. And guess what? How many percent of all these projects makes profit over the last 10 years? Well, if you take a look at all the research that we have done, the capital gain of OCR projects by UOL over the last 10 years are all in positive territory, right? As much as I want to show you award-winning developer, I have just shown you award-winning developer for profit for buyers over the last 10 years, 100%. So if you have invested something from UOL over the last 10 years, you are sitting on profit, or possibly you have already taken your profit. Okay, that's something that is very interesting to find out that, well, the first strategy that you need is to find out who is helping you to achieve your investment goals. So beside the ERA trusted advisor, it's also a trusted property developer. Okay, so that begins my story this evening. And let me move on to the 3 insights to achieve your investment goals with Clavon. So I'm going to talk about these 3 strategies. Number 1, entry strategy. Okay, number 2, hold strategy. And number 3 is about exit strategy. Now, each strategies require us to know about the investment teams in the current market situation and also in the industry, in the locations, with insider insights and knowledge. So all the findings that I have is truly the hard work of our ERA research team, and also our ERA includes all our hardworking and dedicated project staff, and also the hardworking and dedicated project division directors, project team leaders, project ICs, and all our projects teammates out there. They are here to serve you and to help you. And we all understand that you are here because you are interested. All right. And I want to explain to you these very 3 insights that will help you to achieve your investment goal. Let me kick off with the entry strategy. Okay, be it properties, stocks and shares, bonds, or any investment vehicle. Now, we anchor ourselves in the positions because there is investment teams and there is a story or there's a track record for the particular products that we are talking about. So in this case, we are talking about real estates. And what's important about real estates is about location, location, and locations. And strategy number 1 can never miss out is about location. So let's study the locations. So Clavon is at OCR District 5. So as you can see in that map here, the Clavon is situated at OCR, which is outside these boundary lines that separate the central regions and the outside central regions. It is right smack outside the city fringe at OCR District 5. Okay, so let me move on to show you that OCR condo prices have in fact thrived more than the other regions over the last 10 years. So for OCR, capital gains have appreciated almost 80% since January 2010. Well, we are moving into January 2021 in a few days' time. So having said that, if we were to reflect over the last 10 years, if we have put some investments in the OCR region, this is the capital gain, which is so much higher than CCR and also slightly higher than RCR. Then we move on to the last 5 years, 10 years, and 15 years. Let's break down that quantum leap over the last 5-year interval. So over the last 5 years, CCR have grown 18.9%. So that is like January 2015, okay, till now, they have gone up by about 18.9%, now almost 19%. So for $1 million quantum, that is like 190,000 increase in its capital amount. So over the last 10 years, have gone up as much as 81.8%. Is that a phenomenon? And over the last 15 years, it have actually, gone up by 201.2% in terms of per square foot in OCR. And talk about condo prices in District 5. So now from the bigger picture of OCR, I move into District 5. So District 5 actually outperformed the overall island-wide non-landed property price over the last 10 years or so. So District price have a capital gain of almost 70% over the last 10 years, and the overall island-wide capital gain is about 51.6%. So to me, District 5 is also a very, very promising district. All right, having looked into comparison with the island-wide districts. And we break it down into the quantum leap again. Over the last 5 years, District 5 has seen a significant increase of 11.7%, and District 5 over the last 10 years have gone up by 67.8%, and over the last 15 years, they've gone up by 257.7%. Okay, all this is taken from the analytics of IERA apps, which is solely available to only ERA teammates. And I'm very sure that in the industry, these are the only tools that ERA agent has. Okay, so let me move on to the condo price in Clementi. Clementi is a planning area. So as compared to the rest of the island-wide planning area, Clementi have experienced outperformance as compared to the island-wide non-landed prices over the last 15 years, as much as 251%. Okay, I've said that earlier. And for Clementi itself, 251%, and overall is 219%. So I've moved from OCR to District 5 and to Clementi planning area, which is where Clavon is situated. It has very promising capital gain over the last 15, 10, and 5 years. Okay, so Clementi over the last 5-year quantum leap is as great as 5 years, 18.7%, 10 years, 71.8%, and 15 years is 251.2%. Magnificent result, isn't it? So let me do a case study. Okay, this case study is on a recent TOP condos performance. So that is Clement Canopies. So Clement Canopies, if you are quite familiar with that location now, it is like a plot of land next to Clavon. And Clement Canopy is a neighboring condos that have grew 11.3% in just 3.75 years. So over the last almost 4 years, 3 3/4 years, the annual growth promises about 3% compound rates. So just don't look at 11.5%. Okay, this is on the total asset value, right? So if we were to take a look at a $1 million unit at Clement Canopy that is bought during the launch time in February 2017, right? Your profit in November 2020 could be 115,000 if it's based on that 11.5% gain, and with an initial down payment of 250,000. So assuming you're buying this property with a down payment of 25%, you're paying 250,000. And the ROE, in fact, it is the leverage gain, is as high as 46%. Of course, not considering all the expenses such as stamp duties, legal fee, agent fee, and etc. If you were to sell it in the resale market, it is still a very handsome sum, much higher than if you were to park that funds in the banks over the last 3 years, or three and 3/4 years. So the capital appreciation in Clement Canopy ranged from 77,000 to 321,000. And our project team actually did a study on this, on the different bedroom types and the different view facing. So this shows the neighborhood performance of Clavon, which is Clement Canopies. So whether is it facing Clementi Avenue 1, or the stacks that is facing the AYE, the expressway, or whether is it facing the inner facilities, all experience positive gains. So I'm quite amazed by the 4-bedroom unit that's facing the AYE. You know, this 4-bedroom unit have actually a great capital gain of 321,000, and you may say that it faced the expressway, no good, but the profit is good. So there again, this shows that the location itself, all right, does bear fruits. And the entry strategy number 1 that I early on explained is about right location. So the upside potential of Clavon sitting in the right locations is that OCR outperform all regions. And number 2, District 5 performance outperform all districts. And number 3, Clementi planning areas performance outperform all areas. And of course, the neighbor performance, which is Clement Canopies, over the last 3 3/4 years, experienced 11.5% returns. So, what about the surrounding locations again? Let me go into more in-depth studies. Do you know that outside CBD, Clementi is the locations that have HDB 5-room flat crossing that $1 million mark? Are you aware of that? Otherwise, if you were to read in the papers, most of the 5-room flats that exceed 1 million is like in Pinnacle at Duxton, which is at Duxton Hill in CBD area, or it's just at the rest of the core region like Dawson Residences, or Queenstown, or even Bishan. And these are all rest of the core region. But outside core region, the first 5-room flat outside CBD is Clementi. They have crossed $1 million mark. And this says something about that location. It is OCR. So now I want to explain to you about this OCR location, which is like besides this CCR and RCR HDB owners, they have HDB flats sitting in that region. In OCR, you seldom see 5-bedroom unit that is more than $1 million cut. So let's analyze the HDB millionaire effects and how will that affect in the Clementi condos that is near all the Clementi's potential millionaire HDB owners. Okay, case studies. I'd like to do some case study to show you that condominiums that is near to the MOP millionaire estates actually benefited. So Pinnacle at Duxton is in the RCR District 2. Okay, its MOP is in 2014. There are 1,008 potential sellers in that location. So there was a new launch that was launched recently, and that is in Sky Everton. So Sky Everton is just a stone throw away from Pinnacle at Duxton. So a case study of the Pinnacle at Duxton effects shows that After the launch of Sky Everton's in June 2019, the pinnacle effects have indeed raised the capital gain of the Sky Everton new launch by almost 10%. And that is pretty impressive over a period of 1 year. Okay. Next, there's also case study of Dawson effects, which is an estate that have about more than 1,007 potential sellers. This is in the RSCR District 3 with MOP in 2020. So Sterling Residences sits in the RSCR region here, which is a new launch very close to Skyview at Dawson. So this Dawson's effect, all right, does have some positive effects on Sterling Residences, which was launched in July 2018. You see, price have been steadily rising over almost a 2-year period at 6.4% until the Dawson's MOP. That means minimum occupation period for the BTO owner to sell the Dawson flats. The demands from the seller of the Dawson HDB flat further provide support to the price growth of Sterling Residences and accelerated its growth by almost 10% or so ever since Dawson's MOP. So I'm bringing you to a point that in this location of Clementi, it is also an estate filled with many potential HDB millionaire. And what this means to you is the next question here. Will projects in that Clementi area enjoy the same HDB millionaire effects? And in my studies and of the MOP BTO flats in 2020 and 2021, a huge number comes from the west, and Clementi is one of them. And let's see how this effect will bring up the asset values of the new condo launch in Clementi. Okay, second strategy, which is on right pricing. So I talk about right location. Let me zoom into right pricing. Right pricing projects have better chance for capital gain. Don't you agree? So if you were to buy something and anchor into a position of right price, then there is more margin of growth for you. So we always appreciate about land costs, and then we also study about what is the future launch price to determine whether this project or any launches is a right price property. So let me explain to you about the Clavon. The Clavon site was bought at a land rate of 788 per square foot per plot ratio. Okay, and this is like the lowest land cost among the current and also upcoming District 5 new launches. Okay, so you can take a look at this. This Clavon, with Le Grand, Park Clementis, all right, the Veranda Residences, Momentum Park, One North Edens, and Kent Ridge Residences. So this is the lowest land cost among current and upcoming District 5 new launches. So there's some advantage here. There's some advantage here on pricing by the developer. Okay, of course, if the developer price very high, then the developer make a lot of profit. But if the developer price it at a nominal and reasonable profit, then the profit will actually roll back to the purchaser. While when the rest of the upcoming launches successfully launch and sell at a higher price, this will lift the selling price of Clavon or even benefit those who have moved in first. So the estimated break-even price for Clavon in our research from the source square foot, which is part of HPROC, is estimated at a break-even of 1,334 per square foot. So if Clavon is selling from 1,475 PSF, so seriously, the developer is not making a huge profit out from it. It's even less than $100 per square foot. All right, for the first mover. What do you mean by for the first mover? So it's whoever's that anchor itself first during the new launch, which is in the beginning of the selling of this project. All right, very exciting. Whoever that comes in with the first mover advantage, you are able to capture as low as 1475 PSF. Of course, different unit have a different PSF, but from our understanding from the developer that it starts from 1475 PSF. So if you take a look at all the District 5 new homes currently, okay, from Whistler Grand to Park Clementi to Kenridge Hill Residences and Veranda Residences, these prices here shows the average price for November 2020. So the average price right now, November 2020, is averaging at 1731 ESF for all the District 5 new home. And of course, the maximum price achieved is not average price of 1731. It can be as high as 1938, all right, for Kenridge Hill Residences. So the recent transactions have also, I'm able to show you in more detail here, like Whistler Grand. If you take a look at this PSF, in terms of PFS, you have hit 1760, 1454, 1753, 1746, and so on for the different floor and unit and different stacks. So this is all done in November this month. So this month, there is clearly a lot of transactions in this location, Whistler Grand. And also Park Clementi, there's also all these transactions. The highest achieved is 1762 PSF. There you go. These are all the recent transaction prices. And this is Kenridge Hill Residences. Highest achieved is 1938 per square foot. So these are all the proof of the transactions here. And real gems at the corner of City Fringe is something that we want to highlight, okay, in this presentation tonight. So although Clavon is in OCR, do you know it is situated at the corner of City Fringe RCR? So you see this black boundary line here. This black line here is the line that separates the central region, which consists of the core central region and rest of the core region, from the outside core region. Okay, so it is very near to the rest of the core region. And what's the big deal here is that it will enjoy the benefit of OCR price, yet in close proximity to central region, which means getting the benefits of very near to the central regions, but paying a OCR price. Okay, let me continue to show you where are all these locations that is at the fringe of RCR and is in OCR. Okay, very interestingly, if you were to take a look at this map, there are boundary lines that cross the RCR and OCR for these 5 districts. So in these 5 districts, District 5, District 21, District 20, District 14, and District 15, there is RCR and there is also OCR. So come to think of it, if you go into a district that is like District 5, you can either buy a RCR or you can buy an OCR. So let's study what is the pricing of the projects that is next to the city fringe and what is their average prices for all these different districts. This will be interesting. Okay, so pay attention and please lend me your ear. Let's take a look at this. This is District 14. District 14 OCR fringe. You see, it's so near to the boundary line here, right? This boundary line separates the central region and the OCR outside its core central region. The new launch average 1716, and this is District 14, which is, you know where is District 14 now? District 14 is, in RCR, is like Geylang, Eunos, Mountbatten, and in OCR is like Upper Changi Road and so on. Okay, so there is the Urban Treasures, which is averaging 1950 per square foot. There is Navian, which is 1579 PSF, and there is Thatch, which is 1619 PSF. It's a smaller development, the bigger developments, averaging about 1716 PSF. So next one, we took a look at District 20. Okay, District 20, like this is Ang Mo Kio town, right? So there is a project known as Lattice 1. And this project is averaging at 1767 PSF. And you know, in District 20, Ang Mo Kio and Thomson actually is OCR. But the District 20, like Bishan and Sin Ming, is RCR. So in this case, the OCR price is 1767 PSF on average. So next we go to District 21. You know, District 21, recently there is a project launch called the Key Residences in Sunset Way. And it is sold at an average of 1790 per square foot. And this is also situated in OCR at the City Fringe, which is next to the RCR boundary line. So, well, in District 21, if you take a look at it, this is Sunset Way, that is OCR, there is also the Dairy Farm, there's also the Bukit Batok. Well, if you look at RCR in District 21, there's the Beauty World, that's Upper Bukit Timah. Okay, so very near to it, but you are paying a much lower price than the Beauty World and Upper Bukit Timah. Okay, then there is a District 15 OCR also. Now, District 15 is not just all RCR, there's also OCR in District 15. So there's also new launch that's averaging at 2192 PSF. Okay, there's also outside the boundary line of the RCR, like Seaside Residences and also Cayman Residences. And this is averaging 2192. Okay, so if I were to collect all these OCR projects that is at the city fringe of RCR, I have a table that shows me this. It shows me the average price in terms of per square foot from January 2019 to November 2020, which means that have gone through the COVID-19 challenge during the circuit breaker lockdown even. Okay, this is the average prices. And this average pricing is at 1870 per square foot for all OCR new launch near RCR fringe. Okay, got it? So it's 187 per square foot because we are talking about right pricing. So if we anchor into that locations of Clavon, which is also a OCR location next to the city fringe, we know that the average price is 1870 per square foot. So is it a good entry price if Clavon is priced below 1870? Yes, it is, because compared to the rest island-wide, OCR price is 1870 on average. So if it's priced below 1870, then it's good. But what if I tell you that the developer has the intention to price it below 1750 PSF? Is that a steal? Do you think so? Is this the right pricing at the right location? I bet you agree with me, this is a steal. Next, entry strategy number 3 is about right timing. So we're not talking about, you're buying during crisis time and this is the right timing. No. We're talking about first mover advantage in terms of land pricing and land launch pricing analysis. Okay, we're talking about land sales. Okay, so most recent experience that we've seen in the market is a very, it's a phenomenon of hungry developers going for land site. Okay, because the new projects units are moving off the shelf fast and supply has been depleting. So there's a need for a developer to top up his land bank. So when there is a government land sales like the Tanah Merah Kecil Link GLS, which is the remaining sites, okay, that is available at the Tanah Merah location, there is a bullish bid that is shown by developer. Okay, altogether there's 15 developer bidding for that site in October 2020. Of course, the winning bid is submitted by MCC Lab. So we can foresee that in the next 1 year or 1.5 years, there will be a new launch coming out in Tanah Merah Kecil. And what could be the potential launch price of Tanah Merah, GLS site in the near future? Okay, at the other end of Singapore in the east. So at Tanah Merah, which is like, a few stops away from the Changi Airport. So by then the vaccine will probably have already came and probably the flights has resumed. So the sites here will be very exciting to see that in the next 1 to 1.5 years, these sites will be launched by what kind of pricing. So we refer to the news cut that is presented to us in the media, MCC land cost is 930 per square foot per plot ratio. And the potential break even by the analyst that is presented in the publication is 1480 to 1540 per square foot. And what this means is the potential estimated launch price is about 1,007 to 1,008 PSF. Now, this is based on the research that is done by the various analysts that submit their press release and their report to the press. So it's about 1,007 to 1,008 for the Tanah Merah site, which is also OCR land. Okay. Now, there's another way to look at it. If we look at the current resale price that is next to that future sites that is at the Tanah Merah Kecil site, the current resale prices is averaging at 1,289 per square foot. Okay, taking into consideration of Urban Vista, Optima at Tanah Merah, and the Glades. Okay, the average resale price is 1,289 per square foot. And I want to show you this because there's another way to look at future launch price, which is District 16 disparity. Okay, this one we're looking at Tanah Merah, so we're looking at District 16. So District 16 disparity between new and resale currently is around 40.6%. So resale is selling about 1,000 PSF, okay, in October 2020, and new sales is going about 1,537 PSF in District 16. So if we take a look at the resale price that is in this location, which is Tanah Merah, is 1,289. So divided by 40.6%, that will give us an estimated launch price about 1,008, 1,812 PSF, which is quite similar to all the press release submitted by the analysts that the future launch price at the location is about 1,007 to 1,008. Okay, so let me bring you back to the West. What about the potential launch price for that future site at Clementi, which is next to Clavon, or rather in between Clavon and Clement Canopies? Do you know that there is a residential land site here that is next to these two projects? One that we're talking about, Clavon, which is the new launch, and Clement Canopies, which has just TOP. So there you are. This is the future sites. So how will this future site affect the prices in this location? So let's take a look at the current resale price in this location, which is very near to the future site. So we have TriLink going at a resale price of 1,389 PSF, the Park Condo going at about 1,340 PSF, and Clement Canopy going at about 1,487 PSF. So if we take into average of these resale condos, these are all new home turn resale. So they are all resale at 1,407 PSF. And based on the disparity of District 5 projects and resale, it is about 32%. So we estimated that the potential launch price for that future site will be around 1,850 PSF. Okay, that's the sites between Clavon and Clement Canopy in today's context. Okay, so what this means is if the development is, say, launching at 1,750 and below, wouldn't that be the right location, right price, and also right timing? So that is the summary of the entry strategies. So having anchored into a location of choice, you know, real estate investment is not buy now, sell tomorrow. Real estate investment is about your ability to hold on to that property for a period of time. So while you're holding on to a real estate investment property, or you're staying in that property, there has to be a potential of growth, of course. That's why the entry strategy is there. And there must also be a strategy of leverage, which means holding strategy for investor require you to get tenants to pay down your loans, which is your liabilities. So we talk about leveraging on tenants, which is a very important insight for investors to know whether that locations that you're anchoring yourself has good rental ability. All right? Leverage on tenant, good rentability. Let's study on these sites. Education hubs effects is something that we want to look deeper because this location is very close to many good schools and renowned tertiary institutions. Do you know all these elite schools and institutions are all very near to Clavon? Okay, so Clavon is just a stone throw away from education hub like NUS, Singapore Poly also. So what's about all this? It's about rentability. So if it's near to NUS, okay, what's so important on NUS? If we take a look at the ranking in Asia, NUS stands out to be the Asia best, all right, among all the institutions in terms of providing research and education. And you know what's more important as a real estate investor is that I know that in NUS there is more than 50,000 students and staff. And of course, not all the 50,000 students and staff are local, right? And a lot of them are overseas students and possibly overseas expats, teachers, professors, and so on. And these are our target tenants. And they are the ones that provide that leverage, which provides that good rentability. So tertiary institutions like NUS and even the rest of the institutions that is on these slides here makes the possible target tenants for you, the professor, the researcher, the international students. So is there a rent premium for condos along Clementi Avenue 1? As compared to the whole District 5, which is also close to that, you know, all the education institutions. So we do a study here. We research into Clement Canopies because Clement Canopies is the condo in Clementi Avenue 1. So it is pertinent for us to look at Clement Canopy. And true enough, the Clement Canopies rental is at higher per square foot per month as compared to the median rents of all District 5 per square foot per month. So there is a premium for new condos that is situated at Clementi Avenue 1, okay, as compared to District 5 condo. What about the rentabilities of condos within 1.5 km from NUS? Okay, this is also a very interesting study here, possibly not done by a researcher in Singapore before. So please lend me your ear. Case study of rentability of condos. We're looking at about 1.5 km from NUS. Okay, so you can see here, this is Clavon, Clementi Avenue 1, and this is the huge NUS compound. So it's about 1.5 km, depending where you put that destination. So estimated about 1.5 km. So at 1.5 km project that is near to NUS, this is the rental volume. It's interesting to see this because we spend time to do this. We spend time to collect basket A and basket B of condos. So basket A's are condominium within 1.5 km from NUS. And this consists of One North Residence, Dover Park View, Blue Horizon Heritage Views, the Rochester's Residence, and Sea Hill. And basket B condos is between 1.5 to 3 km from NUS and also near NUS in District 5. So we have the Park Condominium, the Tri-Link, the Botania, the Clement Canopies, the 100 Trees, and also Regent Park. So this is the end result here. Okay, so it shows that the projects with higher rental yields, okay, is situated at 1.5 km and below from NUS. So projects that is near NUS have also higher rental yield from basket A and basket B condominiums. There is indeed higher rental yield for basket A which is at 3.38% as versus to Basket B condominiums in District 5. All right, slightly higher. So rentability is your holding strategy. And that locations is good rentability. So the last insights that I have for you for this evening is about exit strategy. Okay, investments also have to understand what is the investment team that's required for capital gain or to rise the prices in their locations. If there is no demographic change, if there is no story, and if there's no investment teams, the price will be stagnant and it will not grow. So is there any story in this location? Okay, let's take a look at it. First story is about the MRT story. Is the MRT effects. Is MRT a significant stories for capital gain? You bet. In Singapore, there's so many real estate investors actually profited because of the MRT effects. Okay, let's take a look at the upcoming MRT station. These are the station that is up and coming. Okay, they are the main lines and also the extension. So in this case, I would like to bring your attention to that cross island line. Okay, that cross island line is very interesting. It will complete by the year, you will start work by the year 2029, okay, which is a good 9 years from now. But this is one of the very interesting line that is coming. It will be the longest fully underground line at more than 50 kilometers long. Okay, and it serves existing and future development in the east, west, northeastern corridors, connecting major hubs such as the Jurong Lake District, the Punggol Digital District, and also the Changi region. And all these names like Jurong Lake, Punggol Digital District, and Changi regions. These are all the growth and business hub. So it links up all the business hub from the east to the west. Okay, so that's the cross island line. And Clavon is possibly near the future MRT cross island line. So the existing MRT station is like here. Okay, existing MRT station is here. So Clavon is here. So if I were to draw the future Clementi station, okay, where should it be? Really no idea, because this is top secret. So no one can tell you that, hey, that is the spot or this is the spot. But if we take a look at that, this LTA map master plan there, the future cross island MRT line is from Jurong to Changi in 40 minutes. So the east to the west line, all right, actually is like Jurong to Boon Lay all the way to Changi. So we have that, the blue line here. And then the cross island line here, which is this red line here. See this red line here? So also from the west to the east. And there's an intersection here. This intersection. See the intersection here? So Clementi is here. And that is the cross island line. And this is the east-west line. Okay, there's also a Clementi here. So it can be anywhere in Clementi. And what if Clementi station become a MRT interchange in the future? So let's don't make so much guess. Let's just guess that it is an interchange station. Okay, because there is an intersect here. Intersect between east-west line and also cross island line. So there is an intersect. And when intersect, you can always put the station there, right? So the LTA can actually put a station here, which could be one of the station position could be there. So if it's there, it is like a MRT interchange. So what's so big deal if it's an MRT interchange? So let's take a look at the MRT interchange effects on surrounding condos. So let me do a case study on Bishan MRT interchange. Okay, it is once upon a time that circle line. When it's announced, it's like, hey, 5 years later or 10 years later, there will be this circle line. And the circle line have actually intersected that north-south line at Bishan. So those of you who take MRT, you're quite familiar with this. So if you go Bishan station, you can take the circle line, you also can take the north-south line. Okay, so the condominium that is nearby this interchange, okay, that is not next to the interchange, is and also quite similar distance from Clover to the Clementi station. All right, so these Bishan condos like Clover by the park and also Rafflesia condos is like similar distance. Okay, 700 meter away from Bishan MRT station, and Clover by the park is about 1 kilometer away, 950 meter away. And that's where the Circle Line opened in May 2009. So how did private homes price reacted when Circle Line opened at Bishan? Okay, this is what I want to show you. This has already happened. During the opening of Bishan Circle Line, okay, as you can see, the Clover by the Park was launched in 2008. That was the worst time to launch, right? Because that is global financial crisis. So the prices has been, falling, and until the opening May 2009. So opening of the Bishan Circle Line have its effect. These MRT effects have actually caused price to recover and accelerate towards the current price today of from as low as 700 PSF to as high as 1003 PSF. So the price rebounded after the Bishan Circle Line opened, and this is an interchange station, and it has rebounded as strong as 81%, almost 90. I mean, it's more than 80% over the last, 2009 to now, over the last 11 years. Okay, and this is PSF growth. Next project, which is the Rafflesia condo, have also experienced the same phenomenon. Okay, not next to the MRT, a distance away. Similarly, these condos, all right, in June 2008, it is only 917 PSF. But ever since the opening of the Bishan Circle Line, it has also accelerated to today, more than $1,000 PSF, which is 50.74% growth. So will Clavon experience the MRT effects by the time the Cross Island Line have arrived at Clementi? You bet. This will have the positive effects towards the capital gain of the Clavon. Okay, let's move on to the next exit strategy. Okay, we are talking about staying there, buying, holding, and exit. So exit strategy is not 5 months later or 10 months later or 1 year later or 2 years later. It's like something like 5, 10, 15 years later. Okay, so I've thought about that the Cross Island Line, which is about 9 years later, okay, when it begins work. Now let's talk about another long-term exit strategy, which is the master plan effects, okay, known as the One North Extension Dover Knowledge District. So announced in 2019, last year, the master plan has something for this part of Singapore. It's known as the Dover Knowledge District. So One North is already there. So One North is filled up with a business park, which promotes the government version of vibrant work, live, play, learn, and is filled with research and business park. Okay, and this is the Singapore knowledge economy. Okay, so One North Business Park is like the Arcade Silicon Valley of US. So this has 200 hectares development, 50,000 knowledge workers. And this space is not enough. The government plan is to extend this. Okay, so the One North extension is bigger. All right, and currently there's 50,000 knowledge workers. So I look at this number here as investors. I'll look at this up. Part of this is potential tenant. Okay, there's 400 leading company and more is coming for the extension. And Institute of Higher Learning and Corporate University is also here. So first drone estate in Singapore and 8 distinct precincts. Wow, so many things here. And I want to look at all the big companies that is moving to that One North locations. So you may ask, what are the big companies in this location? It's like, MediaCorp is already there. Then Shell is there. P&G is there. GSK is there. And also what is in INSEAL and Unilever and even MOE is there, Ministry of Education. So big companies are located in One North. So that One North extension is actually positioned to create more space for that knowledge district, okay, which synergize both the nearby business park, academic and research institution. So this will be offering a very vibrant integrated space to create new jobs and also learning opportunity. So if I were to reflect this coming Dover Knowledge District to the other part of Singapore, which one does it look like? You know, Dover Knowledge District is an extension of One North. Okay, there you are, Dover Knowledge District. If you have drove past that location, there's already hoarding boards, all right, that is already up. So that means it's not of the future, it's of the near future because it's already fenced up. Okay, so you see all this boundary has been fenced up. So something big is coming. It's the Dover Knowledge District. So which part of Singapore looks like this Dover Knowledge District extension of One North? So we study the master plan. Okay, we find that Clover is about 2.5 km from Dover Knowledge District. And the Dover Knowledge District, to me and to my research team, is something like Singapore University of Technology and Design, which is SUTD. Because the SUTD is next to the Changi Business Hub. Okay, it's an innovation lifestyle business district. And SUTD is just next to it, which is the extension of the Changi Business Hub into a knowledge center. So similarly, the Dover Knowledge District is an extension of the One North Business Park. So it looks like there's a bit of synergy here. Is that the Dover Knowledge District versus One North and the SUTD versus the Changi Business Hub. There's indeed synergy. Okay, put it this way, I want to know how will this SUTD extension from the Changi Business Hub, okay, effects on the nearby condos. So similar to how will this Dover Knowledge District extension of One North affect the condominiums that is nearby, like the Clover. Okay, so One North is similar to Changi Business Hub. You can see it's quite similar. So they are both business park with research and education space. And let me take a case study of these 4 basket of condominiums that is around 2.5 km from Changi Business Park. Because Clover is also about 2.5 km from the Dover Knowledge Hub. So what are the 4 properties that is 2.5 km from Changi Business Hub? I have all these property here. Okay, there's a basket of freehold and leasehold property. And that is what I meant, the Changi Business Hub. These are all the condominiums that is in that case study. Okay, this is SUTD and this is Changi Business Hub. So this is what I got. All right, from the opening of the SUTD, which is the extension of the Changi Business Hub Knowledge Center, okay, which house institutions and also researcher. So from here, from the opening, all the way to current, price has appreciated at about 8.38%, okay, since January 2015, so over the last 5 years only. But before that, because of 2013 cooling measure, price has been brought down by less than 1%. So therefore, there is some effects of the opening of the SUTD, okay, with this basket of condominiums that is 2.5 km from the SUTD. So the question once again is for exit strategy. If you are thinking of, entry, hold, and exit, the next investment theme that you possibly can leverage on is the Clavon may also experience the SUTD effect when Dover Knowledge District open. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this evening I have the pleasure to share with you the 3 insights to achieve your investments goal with Clavon. And it's about entry, hold, and exit. The first point that I've shared with you Clavon is anchored at the right location. OCR, District 5, Clementi planning areas, and all these have experienced promising growth over the years. And it's also positions at a right pricing. Considering the fact that Clavon is situated at a location of city fringe, next to the RSCR, but at the OCR region, having price in OCR and enjoying the benefits of RSCR is its advantage. And otherwise, if you take a look at the island-wide, the same kind of locations that is at OCR at the city fringe, any pricings that is below possibly around 1850 and below is a good entry level price. But if it's 1750 and below, it's even more promising. And right timing, right? Anytime is right timing, but if you have more investment teams in that locations, positioning for future launch at a higher price, then it makes sense, because the timing of anchoring is important so that you will benefit on high tide, rise or ship. So in the future, when the launch of that GRS sites that's in between, Clavon and Clement canopies, that will bring up the price of Clavon. So timing is now. So we talk about whole, we talk about good rentability. Good rentability in this location is fueled by the potential tenants from NUS and also from the educational institutions that house all the professor, the researcher, and the overseas students. And this is proven from all the basket of properties that is within that distance, Clavon to NUS, it enjoys superior rentability, volumes, and rental yield. Last but not least, if you think about making profit, you have to make that profit physically, but not just paper profit, but to exit, all right, and collect your pot of goals. And that is possible, extremely possible, if there's investment teams that helps you to do so. And that is like the MRT effects and also the master plan effects. So MRT effects here is about the future Cross Island line. And the Cross Island line has marked Clementi as one of its stations. And then it will be amazing to find out where is that MRT station. And if it is positioned to be an interchange of the East-West line and the Cross Island line, then you will make good investment returns for anyone who anchor right now. That is near in that Clementi vicinity. And of course, master plan effects that looks into the extension of the One North into the Dover Education Hub, which bring forth the similarity to Changi Business Hub and the SUTD effects on the basket of properties that is near to that institutions, all right, for that One North extension experience. So this will also give kind of a boost to the future selling price in that locations. So let me conclude tonight's sessions, all right, with power quotes that I always do in consumer seminar. So taken from a quote from anonymous person, it says, small steps in the right directions can turn out to be the biggest steps of your life. So you only need to take a small step forward in the right directions. Who knows? This will be a turning point of your life and towards a great 2021. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity to wish you an advanced Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And this will be a great opportunity for you to present these presents of the Clavon to your family. Right, thank you very much for your attention. Over to you.